Hi, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books, and welcome to the great outdoors. I'm Elizabeth, and we are on a camping trip this week. My family and I decided to take a quick little 2-night excursion to Lake Kissimmee State Park here in Central Florida, and we are just about to head home, but I thought I'd do a quick video because the scenery here is so beautiful, and I hope you can hear me over the sound of the locusts. They have been so loud while we've been here that it's almost deafening. We've seen some wildlife. There have been armadillo, a lot of those, and we woke up this morning to find raccoon tracks on our tablecloth. Oh, while the locusts have given me a lull in noise, I will try to talk about what I'm reading this week. Now, this is just kind of a little mid-August update. I have not had time to do a video since BookTubeAthon, my wrap-up for BookTubeAthon, and I read 7 books for that, and then for the TBR Takedown, I read 6 books. I actually finished 4 and then picked up 2 more that I read. One of those books for TBR Takedown 2.0 was the second book in the Matched series. So I didn't want to read the third book, which was Reached, for BookTubeAthon because it was over 500 pages, and so that was the first thing I picked up as soon as BookTubeAthon was over, and I don't have it with me, but I finished it and I really did enjoy it. I've heard mixed reviews of it, and I don't really care because I really liked it. So I was happy that I finished that trilogy. Also, one of the items on the Ultimate Reading Challenge that I'm doing this year is to read a trilogy, so now that is checked off my list. So after I finished Reached, then I wanted to check another book off of my Ultimate Reading Challenge, and the one I picked was to read a popular author's first book. I enjoy Debbie Macomber and have read a lot of her books, so I knew that she had some early books that she wrote for like Harlequin, and that some of those have been republished. The one I discovered that was her first book was called Heart Song, and I don't know where it was originally published, but I don't think it was Harlequin because it was actually it actually had a Christian message running through it, and I really enjoyed it. It was very good, and it was about a young woman whose fiance had been killed before they were married, and she had gone the next 8 years without really dating anyone or opening up to love anyone else, and so it's her story. I'm going to be reading a lot of middle grade books coming up in the next few weeks. The Florida Sunshine State Reader List came out earlier this summer, and I'm going to be reading those books. I have 4 checked out from the library so far, and I have already read the first one. I read it Sunday and Monday, so I'm going to show it to you. I started this early Sunday morning before church and read about 50 pages then. Then we decided to go on this camping trip, so I was able to read the rest of the first half while we were camping on Sunday night, and then finished it up yesterday throughout the day. It's called Counting by Sevens by Holly Goldberg Sloan, and I really recommend this book. It's about a girl who is her label is highly gifted. Now, there is some discussion about labeling people. In fact, that's kind of part of the book, but she is a genius basically, and in the very first chapter she comes home and finds out that her parents have been tragically killed in a car accident. So then it goes back 2 weeks or 2 months, and it tells her story leading up to that, and then it goes forward into her life and her finding a family and being able to work through the tragedy, and it's just incredible. I highly recommend this book. It will, you may laugh, you may cry. It's just, you got to read it. So I finished that last night, and then this morning I woke up early and picked up this one. This is also a Florida Sunshine State reader, and it's called The Eighth Day by Diane K. Salerni. This is about a boy named Jax Aubrey, and on his 13th birthday he wakes up and there's no one there. He finds out very quickly that he can somehow now experience an 8th day of the week. It's between Wednesday and Thursday, and he discovers that his new guardian also can live through this 8th day, and that there are a group of people who can only live on the 8th day, and it's just crazy. So I've read about not quite 70 pages, about 65 pages so far today while we've been camping, and I'm really enjoying this book. So I can see why both of these books have been awarded this special honor to be a Sunshine State reader, because they're excellent. They usually pick a pretty good variety of books, fiction books. Some are historical fiction, and I haven't really found out much about the rest of them, although I do have more checked out that I'll tell you about. The next one that I'm going to read is called Eye of the Storm by Kate Messner, and it looks like this is about a tornado. It says, bright lightning, dark secrets, who can stop the biggest storm yet? So that might be an entertaining book for those of you who like to read about natural disasters. I have not started this yet, but I am looking forward to reading it. Another one of the Sunshine State readers that I have on audiobook, this was the only one I could find on audiobook so far. It's by Carl Hyson, and it's called Skink, No Surrender. Now, all of Carl Hyson's books have some sort of an environmental theme running through. This is his fifth one, I believe, that is for young readers. He also has adult books, and they're mostly mystery, adventure, action kind of books. Every one of his books that I've ever read has an environmental theme kind of underlying it. This one is no exception to that. And the funny thing about it is that it has a couple of characters who are in some of his adult books that now have made an appearance in this book. My daughter and I started listening to this in the car yesterday. I had to run her to the doctor, and so we started listening to this and got about a little into the second disc, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And another book I started on the camping trip, and I've read 2 chapters so far. This is the Everything Organize Your Home book, and I'm going to try to just read a little bit along. I may not read every day in this, but I want to try to get this finished before the end of August, so that I can check this off my list. I like to read organizing books, and this also didn't get very good reviews. So one of the prompts on the Ultimate Reading Challenge is to read a book that did not get good reviews. Another book that I'm just trying to get through on audio is Landline by Rainbow Owl. I know everybody that I hear on BookTube just loves Rainbow Owl. This is my second one of her book. I have listened to Eleanor Park, and I'm also about halfway through, a little over halfway through with this one. The problem I have with listening to Rainbow Owl on audio is that for these 2 books anyway, I don't know about Fangirl because I haven't read that, but there is such foul language, and can't find a place to listen to it. The CD player in my car is out of commission right now, and it's where I listen to CDs in my house is in the kitchen, where there's no doors and it's very wide open. So unless I'm home alone, which is very rare, it's just difficult to listen to this. I just don't want to expose my children to that language unnecessarily. So it's been difficult to get through this book. I don't particularly enjoy foul language myself. I just don't like to hear it. And I don't like to hear it in my books. And I know I've heard some other debate about this subject on other BookTube channels. Some people say that it's immature to discount a book because of the bad language. And I know there are times for the realism that it's, maybe necessary. But again, I don't have to choose to read those kind of books. So I am going to get through this, and I am going to read Fangirl just because everyone says that it's fabulous. I may have to wait till next week when school is in session and listen to this after the kids have gone to school. Okay, so now we're back home. It's Wednesday morning. I got up this morning to finish editing the video that you've just been watching. It was incomplete. Somehow the end of it got cut off, so I thought I would perpetuate the outdoor theme, and I came out of my backyard to finish the video. Since I'm home now, I have the other books that I mentioned earlier in the video that I could show you real quick. I also just picked up from the library yesterday Gilead by Marilyn Robinson. I've heard Ashley from Climb the Stacks do a review of this, and it sounded really good. And since I have to read a Pulitzer Prize winner for the Ultimate Reading Challenge, I decided to get this one. An audiobook that I'm going to be listening to in my car is A Case of Nosy Neighbors by Lori Copeland. And yes, it is tapes, because that's the only thing that works right now in my car. This is the third in a series by Lori Copeland called The Morning Shade Mysteries, and I believe there's only 3 in the series. And I really enjoyed reading the first 2. So when I saw that this was available on cassette at one of our neighboring libraries, I thought this would be something that I would enjoy, that I can listen to in my car. A few other audiobooks that I have checked out that I'm going to be getting to fairly soon. This is the 3rd book in the Gregor series by Suzanne Collins. This is Gregor and the Marks of Secret. This is going to be for book club for next month. This is 1,000 White Women. It is the Journals of May Dodd, a novel by Jim Fergus. And then the third in the Mortal Instruments series, City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. My husband and I have listened to the first two, so I thought I would go ahead and pick up the third one. Now, I mentioned earlier in this video the books that I had read right after BookTubeAthon. The third book in the Matched series is called Reached by Ali Condi. And then Debbie Makeover's first book called Heart Song. A couple of other things I have checked out from the library. My husband ordered this. It's the Game of Thrones first season. We have not read the books. I kind of wanted to read the books first. We haven't watched any of the series or read any of the books, but I tried to get the first part of the first book on audio because I just don't have time to read a chunker like that right now, and it was not available. It was missing in our library system. So he had already ordered the DVD, so I thought, well, we'll go ahead and watch it, and maybe that will inspire us to actually read the book. Also, for TBR Takedown 2.0, one of the books I read was Christie. Now, I was inspired to read Christie after watching the movie of Christie several years ago. Since I just read Christie, finally, after all these years, I wanted to go back and watch the movie again. It stars Kelly Martin and Tyne Daly, and I just remember that it was very, very good. I guess that's it for what I'm reading, what I just read, and what I am going to read very soon. I will probably have another video before the end of August, but school starts for us this coming week. We have orientations tomorrow, and I will be heading back to work as a substitute teacher fairly soon. So my reading will probably decrease, but I'm gonna, I'm pretty good at looking for little snippets of time throughout my day. I always try to have a book with me wherever I am. So that's it for now. Have a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.